Hey friends, welcome back, or welcome if you are new. My name is Sammy, and this week I am bringing you 3 of our family favorites. They are typically on a monthly rotation, so I really hope you enjoy this video and that you get some inspiration out of it, and hopefully try one of these family favorites for your family, and who knows, maybe they'll become one of your favorites as well. So let's get right on into today's video. Okay, so to start us off, I just wanted to make one of our absolute favorites, and I mean, who does not like spaghetti? Am I right? So this evening's supper, I just pulled out some spaghetti sauce from the freezer and I let it thaw out, and I'm just going to go ahead and heat that up on the stove. While that's heating up and I'm boiling the noodles though, I am going to go ahead and make my garlic bread, the most favorite way that I make it, next to just buying those garlic breadsticks out of the freezer from Walmart, which are my favorites. But if you don't have that and you have some old bread or something that you're needing to get rid of, this is how I make mine. So I just took some old hoagie buns, put some butter on it, and then poured some Badia complete seasoning on that. And I'm gonna tell y'all what, this was the best dinner yet. Now, when I serve up my spaghetti, I just make like a cream cheese and sour cream mixture. I know it sounds weird, but you gotta try it with some garlic and everything mixed in with it. Put that on your spaghetti and then put your sauce on top of it. And then we just had a little side salad and of course that garlic bread, and this made the perfect supper. And now we're just going to roll right into our second family favorite right here that's usually, like I said, on our monthly rotation, which is my Tuscan chicken pasta. This is by far probably one of the best suppers that I make, especially if you ask my oldest son, he would completely agree with his mama on this one. So you just want to start out by browning some chicken breast. You could even use chicken thighs if you don't like chicken breast, but for this one, chicken breast works best for us. So I just fry that up until it is done all the way through on both sides with some Badia complete, Cavender's, and garlic powder. Whatever seasonings you want, that's what y'all need to put on it. It is your house, your rules, your seasonings, however y'all want to do that. So that's just what I put on ours. So once you're done frying this chicken, you'll just put a little bit of butter and flour in here and make yourself like a little bitty roux. Just let that flour cook out a little bit though, because you don't want that taste of that flour in there at all. This by far is simple because it's pretty much like a one pot meal besides just boiling this the pasta, but everything else gets cooked right in the same pot. So once that is all browned up, that is when I go ahead and add in a full jar of the sun-dried tomatoes. I use the sun-dried tomatoes with herbs. I drain out all that oil, and then I add in a heaping helping of garlic. Y'all know I love my garlic here. And then some Badia complete and some Cavender's. You'll want to stir all this together until it's incorporated, and then we're going to add in a whole 10-ounce bag of spinach. Here in just a minute you'll see that. And y'all know that if you know anything about greens, it's going to look like a lot, but once it cooks down, it's going to pretty much cook down to nothing. So when I say add the whole bag, you got to add the whole bag. Plus I like spinach, so you'll just cook that one down till it is all wilted and mixed together. Now, I will say that it does not take very long, so you want to stand right by this, even if you put a lid on it like I do to kind of like help it wilt on down. You just want to make sure that you stand by that, so the flour and the garlic and everything that you had in there before the spinach, so it don't burn. So now that this has cooked down a little bit, as y'all can tell, like I said, it went to nothing, but you still just want to stir this on up, and then we're getting ready to add in our heavy cream. Now at this point you could add in a little bit of chicken broth if you wanted to. I have done that before, but this night I didn't add any in. I just went straight for the heavy cream with this one. And I kind of mashed those tomatoes up just a little bit to kind of release those flavors too. So Here I'm going to go ahead and add in the heavy whipping cream. This is, I believe, a quart, and I use anywhere from a half of it to the whole thing, depending on how much sauce I want to make. But this one I use just a little bit over a half of a quart of the cream. You just have to see how you like the thickness of the sauce or not. So we like ours a little bit thicker to where it coats everything, and then once this is well incorporated or stirred together, you'll add in a whole container of Parmesan cheese. Yes, I said it, a whole container. It's kind of like you're making your own Alfredo sauce in a way, so just think of it that way. But once you pour in all your cheese and your heavy cream, you just basically stir that on together, and then you just let it sit in that pot and get happy. You do add in some pepper. Like you see right here, you gotta have the pepper. I like a lot of pepper, but like I said, you season with your heart, and took that from Tamara. I just listen to her so much, it just is natural for me to say it, because I do. I season with my heart. So whatever seasonings y'all like, that's what y'all need to do. And then I just put a lid on it and set it and let it get happy. Now here I'm just gonna go ahead and put it over our I think I used the cavatappi. I know I'm probably butchering that name, but anyways, whatever pasta y'all want to serve it on, that's what you need to do. And I just put it over this, and then I'm going to go ahead and get my little piece of chicken right here and just kind of cut it up. That way it's easier to eat. Now you could leave it whole if you want to, of course, but I love cutting mine up like this. Plus it makes your plate look really pretty. So I'm just going to go ahead and put this on up on the plate, and we're going to go ahead and sit down and have supper. This is by far, like I said, one of our favorite pasta dishes. I'll have the recipe below to where you can print it out, and I really hope y'all give this one a try, because you will not regret it. I promise y'all that. It is so good and creamy and rich and divine and all those great words. So that was supper this night, y'all. Alright y'all, and to finish up our last family favorite, we're going to go straight into some delicious bacon burgers. And this is something that I just come up with myself, instead of having to sit there and fry that bacon, or you know, cook it in the oven, or however you cook your bacon. I just decided to go ahead and mix it up in that burger. I mean, why not? Save yourself a step, and this is easy peasy, and it is so tasteful. They are so good and perfect on the grill as well. But I just go ahead and fry these up in my cast iron here in a minute, but y'all see that here in a sec. So what you'll want to do is just make sure you chop up your bacon pretty fine. It's easier if it's a little bit frozen, which mine was all the way thawed out, but it still worked good. But just a tip, just kind of keep it a little bit frozen and it'll cut up for you finer. So once that is done, I got all my ground beef in there, and I just go ahead and mix this on together, and we'll add in some Badia complete, some Badia black garlic, and Cavenders. That's the only thing I put in here. And then we like our burgers pretty thick here in our house, so I just leave these pretty thick like, and then patty it on up. And then go ahead and fry them up in my skillet until they get that good crust in there. And yes, y'all, I put my dimples in my patties. Do y'all do that? Let me know in the comments below if y'all put a dimple in them or not. It really does help with everything, with them shrinking, and even when you put them on the bun, to kind of keep those toppings on there. So here they are. Just that's that crust I was talking about. That is Flavor City right there, y'all. So make sure you get you a good crust on those. But I'm just going to go ahead and keep frying these on up. And yes, that's my pizza pan, because I don't have a lid for my cast iron, but it works just as well. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and assemble these burgers. We just do your typical toppings. We have some mayonnaise, ketchup, cheese, lettuce, tomato, whatever y'all can think of, you can put on there if you want pickles or whatever you want on there. But this is what we're going to go ahead and do. This is actually my husband's plate here, so I'm just going to go ahead and finish doing this. And I did serve this on up with some French fries as a side, but you can see that bacon through there, and oh my goodness, y'all, these are just so good. But that was what we had for supper this night. I'm just going to go ahead and show you the whole plate right here, but it was so good. And those are those delicious buns too. And y'all know I couldn't leave this video without showing y'all my Thanksgiving supper. So I just had some rolls right there, some cranberry sauce. Of course, you gotta have the deviled eggs because it's not Thanksgiving without them, right? And then there is our delicious Cajun turkey. Oh, so good, y'all. So good. And then, of course, I made some corn pudding right there. And then homemade buttermilk macaroni and cheese. I've shared that before, so I'll have that video linked below. And then, y'all, we have to have ham as well because you just got to. Then there is our stuffing right there. And, of course, my sweet tater casserole. I'll have all these videos and recipes linked below for you. Green beans, you know, all the fixings. And then all of these delicious pies right here. Pumpkin, sweet tater, and a walnut pie. But that is it for this week's video. I really hope you enjoyed it and it gave you some inspiration to cook for your family. Until next time, my friends, God bless. Bye.